Start out with a roughly circular bowl blank and drill a 2 1/8 inch recess in one side so that it can be held securely in the lathe chuck. Before starting a new bowl, I'll sharpen my bowl gouge with my homemade sharpening jig. With the blank mounted on the lathe, I can begin truing up the outside faces. Once the blank is round and balanced, I can increase the speed of the lathe. I use calipers to mark the size and location of a tenon, which will be used to hold the blank backwards on the lathe for hollowing later on. Once the tenon is shaped, I can begin carving the outer profile of the bowl. I can then finalize the outer surface of the bowl with a scraper. It leaves a slightly better surface finish than the gouge. And I power sand the outside of the bowl up to about 600 grit. With the outside of the bowl completed, I mount the tenon in the chuck and true up the top surface of the bowl. I can then begin the process of roughing out most of the waste material inside the bowl. The inside surface of the bowl is finalized once again with a scraper. And then the inside of the bowl is power sanded as well. The first coats of finish are applied with the lathe stopped. In this case, I use General Finish's salad bowl finish because it's food safe and brings out a lot of the color and grain of the wood. With the finish wet, you can really see the curly figure and some of the ambrosia coloring in this piece of maple. I sand the bowl with 800 grit paper in between coats of finish to remove any surface imperfections. The last few coats of finish are applied and buffed out with the lathe under power. With the finish applied, the bowl can be turned around once again to turn off the tenon and finalize the shape of the bottom. The bowl is mounted loosely over the chuck and held in place with pressure from the tailstock. Here you can see the non-slip material between the bowl and the chuck that prevents it from being scratched. With the bowl off the lathe, I removed the last little center bit of the tenon by hand with a chisel. Then I can power sand the bottom of the bowl. The bowl then gets branded with my initials and the year. Then one coat of salad bowl finish goes on the bottom of the bowl and is blended into the sides. Overall, I'm really happy with how this bowl came out. Maple is one of my favorite woods to work with, and this particular piece was really beautiful.